Yeah.
What you got out of this week?
Yeah, I mean, when you open up in a tournament like the Vert Challenge, I think the best thing about it is it's going to show you what you need to work on because you're playing the best teams and you'll see what works and see what doesn't work. The downside of playing in that is that you might not get a lot of confidence right away because you could lose. But that's why you're in that tournament, right? If you're just trying to win, you could go schedule wins. But we wanted to schedule last weekend how we did, and then have a chance to come back, regroup, see what we need to work on, have a few good days of practice, and then have 4 opportunities this week to try and get better at it. And I think we did. And I guess we'll see how much better as we go into next weekend when we're playing Penn State and Minnesota, which is basically just a replay of last weekend. So looking forward to that challenge. I'm proud of the way that we handled ourselves this week. I thought we were pretty consistent overall. Still, obviously, things to work on. But overall, I thought it was a good week for us.
They sort of the topper offensively.
Yeah, I thought we were just really consistent. I really like the rhythm that Samit is in with August. I think, right now at this point we're doing the 5-1, having the one-setter system, it is a change for Ronica and Samit. They're going to get a lot more opportunities, and they need to explore the space on the court that they have now, the freedom that they didn't have last year in the 6-2. And so I think we're just starting to figure that out a little bit. And August is figuring out how to use that, how to use her middles. And so this week I thought was really important for us. You could just see the confidence grow with August and Samit. And I tried to make a change with Ronica today, and I thought she made a nice change halfway through. Just she wants to go too fast, and I tried to get her to slow down a little bit and get a little bit better rhythm. And after that, I thought she was lights out again also. So just trying to clean that up a little bit. Again, I don't care who we play. If we run our slide attack like that behind the setter, it's really tough to stop. And so it's getting good. And so I just want it to be what we do every day. And I really like that both of our first touches in the first and third set were to Samit on that attack, and it looked really simple for us.
What do you think your team took away most from its Oregon Classic?
Ooh, I think that's an August question.
I think one of the main things we wanted to work on throughout this entire tournament was staying focused and staying disciplined and just going in and doing our job, not letting anything become a distraction out there. So I think after we started off on a kind of shaky note, we regrouped for Long Beach and just came back with the type of focus and the type of mentality that we need to bring just every day, no matter who we're playing. So I think that was huge.
August, what are you seeing from Samit?
Say that again?
What are you seeing from Samit when you're on the court?
I see a lot of trust in her, and I see a lot of confidence in what she's doing. And between the two of us, both on and off the court, we just have a good relationship, and it's really cool to see that be brought to the court. And she's just playing like a senior would, stepping up.
Matt, you were sat down for most of the match. You kind of let the players play, not too much coaching today?
Well, actually, I think I've sat down all weekend. So last year, I started sitting down in our first match last year against Nebraska, and we were down 10-2. And then I stood up, and I never sat down again. And it was because the team, I thought, needed my energy, needed me to talk them through things. I thought they were just very unsure of themselves all year. And this year, I actually feel like I need to sit down because they're doing a good job of communicating with each other. And I think for me to be up and kind of in their face a little bit more, it makes them a little more anxious and a little more emotional, and that's what I'm trying to get them to get away from. So I've just taken a back. I mean, I'm still coaching from the bench because they can never get me to shut up, But just trying to back off emotionally for them so that they can figure out what their team dynamic is like, I think is really important for us right now. And I thought we did that this week. I was able to back off because they could handle it on the floor. And ideally, that's what you want. I want to prepare them for the games ahead of time. And then let's see how they can go out and just take it themselves and then make, tweaks here and there. So I thought that was pretty good. I like to dance on the sideline, though. I like that. So it's hard for me to sit down.
He's a terrible dancer.
Okay.
Sorry.
Switched a couple things up today, but otherwise, what people have seen these 4 matches pretty established in your rotation or your lineup that you think will go most of the year?
Well, to be honest, I really don't know much about Taylor Borup as a player because she transferred in. It's not like I recruited her since she was a freshman or sophomore, so I've seen her play a bunch. I had film from her at North Carolina, and I had word of mouth from other people that I trust in the volleyball community, but I really didn't know much about her. And then she looked good our first few days of practice, and then she got hurt the beginning of the second week, and we only had 2 weeks of practice before we started competition. So I still didn't get to see much. So now that she got cleared, I was able to get her in a little bit, and then I wanted to see more of her this week. I think Lauren Page is doing a really nice job. I wanted to give her more opportunities. I know what I'm going to get from Lindsay Vanderweide, and then Brooke Van Sickle is coming off that knee injury, so I'm trying to be cautious with her, and I wanted her to be playing her best at the end. So with all of them, I'm trying to give them all different looks, but trying to be smart about how to handle their health, and mental health. So I'm sure they would all like to just play the whole time. So if you asked all of them, so there's 4 outsides that are pretty good on our team, and I'm trying to figure out which ones are going to be the best, and it might vary from match to match based upon what we need. They all bring something a little bit different, but I thought Taylor did a really nice job this week. I really like her demeanor on the floor. She's very mature, and just doesn't really get emotional, doesn't go too high or too low, and just plays the game. It's nice to have that size. Lauren Page is really dynamic. She can do so many good things. Lindsay can just do everything in the game really well. She hasn't been scoring great, and that's something we're going to have to keep working on. And Brooke Van Sickle, I think, is one of the most exciting players to watch in the country. And so you see her take a couple swings, and the crowd gets really excited. So it's just, I just need to keep progressing them as we move forward. But I think the rest of the lineup is pretty stable. I liked what Cameron Tassad did today as libero. I thought that was important to see how she could handle that. Brooke Nunneviller, I think, is one of the best middle back defenders in the country. And so I got to figure out, how do we take advantage of that? I think we have a really nice lineup, and I want to see if there's ways to make it better.
You're pretty set on obviously, Jolie with the injury redshirting, and then the 3 freshmen who haven't played.
Yeah, could you imagine if Jolie was eligible? Poof,
Freshmen by reputation.
Very good. Yeah, and they would have started on every team I've coached ever, except for this year. So, and I think they're handling that really well. It's tough when you're that good. Again, yes, they could play on just about every team we see. But I hope they're learning from Samit and Ronica. They're both middles, and you can see our middles are pretty good. And you see that August is pretty good. So I think those are 2 positions right now that we don't need at the moment, but in the future, they're going to have big-time Oregon careers. And so I want them to learn right now while they can. Mm-hmm. It's a pretty unique opportunity they get, and I think it's one, if you ask a lot of the older kids, they wish they could have had it. So hopefully we're learning from it.